Hi there, my name is John Stevens, pastor of Zion Lutheran Church in Oregon City, Oregon, and we're part of the ELCA, and welcome to Dollar Store Children's Sermons, where we take a look at the lectionary text, we tie them to an item from the Dollar Tree. This is for the second Sunday after Pentecost, and we're looking at the second lesson in Galatians. If you're interested in the gospel lesson, I have a link on the blog, dskidsermons.com, that links to a couple of years ago when this reading came around and we looked at the gospel lesson. So you might want to take a look at that as well. But so I'm looking at the second lesson and the second reading out of Galatians, and it's just a classic text about how we are freed from the law, that we used to use the law to measure up, or we might fall back into that where we use things to measure up to see if we're okay, to see if I'm worthy, and that grace breaks that free, and that God makes us that way. We are worthy. We are made holy. Holy meaning we've been set apart. So a couple items. One item that I was drawn to, I actually was looking for a yardstick, one of those 3 foot. Yeah, that's why they call it a yardstick. It's 3 feet. Anyway, sorry, I just realized I was explaining a yard. Moving on. So getting a yardstick that happens to be 3 feet long, and the idea was a wooden yardstick and breaking it, because that this idea that this is what we use this to measure, and that wooden stick and it gets broken. Couldn't find one. You might be able to find one at a hardware store, but couldn't find one. So I started looking around, and a couple other things came to mind and I think might work better. One is in the party favor section, they've got medals, and on each one of these medals it says winner. And what I like about this is that each one of these says winner. It's not like one has winner and all of the rest has loser. That in the eyes of grace and through God's love, we are all made winners. So there we are. I won't even get into the whole debate about the participation awards and things like that. But this is beyond that. This is this idea that in God's grace, we have been made winners. And that's what we're measured against, is grace, 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 grace. So that's one of the things is that, and what I love about this is that kids get something to take home. So there's that. The other is, it's actually, it's not a yardstick, but it's a 1 ruler. It's a 1 foot ruler, using your desk ruler or whatever. But I like this one because we use this to measure things. It's got centimeters and inches and a foot, and we measure this. But in the center of this ruler is a magnifying strip, and I love that because in the surrounding it is all these things that we can use to measure, but then in the center there's the important part that helps us see more clearly about what's important. So we measure and all this, but in the center is this. And so I have a piece of paper that has written on it. Here, let me get it has written on it, grace, grace, grace. And there's a very tiny grace right there, where if you move this up, you can it expands it. And it's not a lot, but it gets the point across. And that this center part helps us focus on and expand that which is important, and God's grace. And as God pours God's grace upon us, then we can help others see that that's the important part. And I think the Galatians text really kind of cracks that open. Says this is the good stuff. This is the stuff to pay attention to. So I hope that can be a springboard for your own thinking around your children's sermon. And as always, thanks for stopping by, and I hope you have a fantastic week.